Hola, beautiful people. Hola, beautiful people. So today you are in for quite the news. You were in for quite the news. So maybe you know, maybe you don't. If you're new to this community, we do spirituality, and this is a spirituality channel, and we do magic, money, and metaphysics on this channel. Have been doing that for over 13 years. Over 13 years. Wow, here on YouTube, having a ball with all of you. And I lead global retreats all around the world, which is my happy place. Travel with you all is my happy place. So, after the experience we had of the C word in 2020 and 2021, I shall not even give it energy of actually saying it. After that experience, um, Bali was not accessible, or you couldn't travel to Bali unless you had the snake bite or the jab. And as a as one of our guiding principles for our travel company for Soul Excursions, happy Friday. You love it, you love it. As one of our guiding principles for Soul Excursions, our travel company that does the global retreats all around the world, we never travel to companies. We made this decision. We never travel to countries that require anything upon arrival. In other words, we don't travel to companies that require a jab. We didn't do it the whole time during 2020, 2021, 2022, all our retreats. We never traveled to any country that required you to have a jab to enter. Now, a lot of other travel companies went a different direction. The other travel companies that I know of, like Remote Year and Hacker Paradise, a lot of them said, well, everybody needs to get jabbed so we can go to all these countries that require a jab. We took a different approach. We went to countries that didn't require a jab, so we would never have to ask all of our attendees at the retreats to take the snake bite, because I myself didn't take it, and I support your freedom of choice. I don't care whether you took it or didn't take it. That's not my business what you do with your body. It is no one else's business what I do with my body. Everyone is sovereign. And if you look at the guiding principles of our travel company that does these retreats all around the world, and I've been doing retreats for now over 18 years, June of 2023 made 18 years. So I've been taking people on retreats for over 18 years. And if you look at our guiding principles, one of the principles, and Globetrotters, I want to tell you how you are going to make some money, Globetrotters, in 2024. Globetrotters, you know who you are. Okay. Let's go to let's go to soulexcursions.world. Soul Excursions is our travel company. And right here under our ethos, you can see the navigation may change depending on what the website looks like when you go to it. It's soulexcursions.world. I'll put in the chat soulexcursions.world. Let me put it in the chat for you so that you can see our ethos, and you can also see pictures from our global retreats and events. And pretty much all our people who love global travel, our people who love global travel, they have told us many destinations that they want to go to, and we're going to see if we can hit all those destinations that are aligned and perfect for Soul Excursions. But if you click on our ethos, you see that our ethos is divinity. First and foremost, everyone is divine. Alignment, we're going to align with the inner presence that is source. Community, adventure, flow. We're in the divine flow. We're sustainable and responsible, and we do enrichment and transformation. We want all of our retreat attendees to take inspired action. So if you look at our retreats and you look at all the beautiful souls that have come on these retreats with us all over the world, that was shot in Bali. You're booking 5 days Bali retreat. Amazing. Amazing. This was shot in Salem Mystery School, Salem, Massachusetts. This was shot in Dubai, Quantum Leap Dubai. We've been there several times. This was shot in Mexico at the the Mexico Ancient Seas retreat on the spring equinox. So when you look at all of these experiences that we have all over the world with you, wow, wow. So because we honor your divinity, we never, and we're a spiritual company, first and foremost, we do everything about, we're about spirituality. That's what we're about. So when you come on a soul excursion with us, it's not like you're just going to Dubai. No, this is a spiritual retreat in Dubai, which is different from a vacation, a girlfriend's getaway, hey, family adventure. All of those are beautiful. That's just not what we do. We're very clear on what we do. We do spiritual transformation. That's what we do. And we do it in exquisite locations all around the world. Deep, deep, radical, permanent transformation. If you want to be a whole new person in 1 week, we got you. Let's have a deep breath. Oh, so the announcement. Yes, Spirit, the announcement. So all this time, I kept checking Bali, because Bali is my soul home. And I got to spend I got to live in Bali for over 30 days in 2015, about 8 years ago. And I've been to Bali several times since then, led retreats in Bali. Bali is like, how can you be a global traveler and not go to Bali? I mean, it's just not possible. They're going to take your global travel license, your card that says, I'm a global traveler. They're going to take it because how can you do all that and not go to Bali? I'm kidding. You don't have to go to Bali. Yet, if you choose to go to Bali, you can experience spirituality like few places on the planet. There are a few places on the planet where the spiritual energy is palpable, where you cannot be depressed, you cannot be sad, you cannot be angry, you cannot do anything other than succumb to your spiritual nature. That is Bali. That's Bali. It's like one of the most, it's maybe the most spiritual place on planet Earth. I don't know. Now, if you want earth energy and you want tectonic plate movement under moving years of stuff, and you want to just sit in the vortex and let all that stuff move and come out, that's Sedona. If you want to do yoga, eat some delicious fresh fruit, play with the monkeys, and be in beauty that will make you wake up every morning and cry, you just be crying because it's so beautiful, and experience the deepest, most profound spiritual transformation of your life, such that you are more in love, joy, peace, bliss, ecstasy. This is what the spiritual transformation does for you. Bali all day long. So when I looked, so I kept checking Bali. I kept checking Bali all through 2022. You need a jab, you need a jab, you need a jab. Then after a while, they softened it a little bit, because even after all the other countries had dropped the jab, they had dropped the test to get in. Bali was like, no, y'all ain't coming in here, because Bali was just devastated during the 2020 experience, 2020 and 2021. So I kept checking Bali all throughout 2022 to see when was Bali going to be open with nothing to walk in. Nothing. Not even, no sticks up your nose, all that. We're done with all that. And we're not doing that again. We're not. Plenty of people all over the globe have agreed we're not doing 2020 and 2021 again. We don't care what comes around, because we made a mess of things and it didn't work, right? It didn't work. So, but a whole lot of people, Pfizer minted something like 9 new billionaires during 2020 and 2021. Really scary. So, but you didn't have to participate in any of that. That's not your business. We are people of spirit. I'm in this world, I'm not of this world. So that has no effect on you whatsoever. What has an effect on you is your consciousness and your choices, your thoughts, your beliefs, your vibration. That's what's making things happen for you or seemingly not for you. Everything's for you at the end of the day. So I kept checking Bali. Finally, Bali got to the place where it relaxed a little. I was like, ooh, I see a relaxing here. That either you had to have the jab or, because at first they were like, you got to have 3 and 4 jabs. You got to have the certificate to show it. You got to do this. You got to do that. And you can get a certificate to show anything. Wink, wink. But I don't recommend the black market, but you can get certificates that say just about anything. That is available to you. And I think that was a hot cottage industry during 2022 and 2021 when things were still spicy and people wanted to go places and they were like, you're not giving me that experimental snake bite. They were like, but don't worry, I'll produce the papers. Oh, there were people that could make papers look so legit. Looks like it came straight from the government. Okay. So you could get papers, yet I'm not going that route. I'm not getting papers to fulfill something that it's not even real in the first place. It's buying into that. So Spirit was just like, hold your peace. Like that's what I could feel about Bali because I was just inching. I was nipping at the bit to get back to Bali. And it was like, hold your peace. Hold your peace. I was like, okay, it'll work out. It'll work out. Stop rushing things. It will work out. Sure enough, I kept checking. Every so often I would go and check, like every month or two, like every day. Just every month or two as it would occur to me, I would check. One day I went and checked in 2022 and it said, you have to have one of the snake bites or you have to have the snake bites yet, or you could have a letter from a doctor on why you don't have to have it. And I was like, oh, there's an opening because people can't get doctor's letters that say anything. Once again, wink, wink. So I said, okay, I see. The energy is dissipating. It's dissipating. Then June of 2023, Bali no longer requires anything for entry other than your passport with 6 months validity on it and a ticket out. When are you leaving this camp? Because we can't have you coming in here and staying in here forever. I was so thrilled. It was a yes, Bali is open again with nothing required. Just come with your passport. Of course, you get a visa on arrival, a 30-day visa on arrival. So you can stay for 30 days and you can renew the 30-day visa for another 30 days if you desire to stay longer. And and I think that's pretty much the max, unless you go into something like other things, like if you start getting different kinds of visas where you can get a work visa, or you get almost every country now has some kind of nomad visas because they want nomads coming in, sitting in coffee shops, buying all that coffee and buying all that food and making the American dollars or the European euros and spending it in their country. Ooh, there's a lot of good nomad visas. Come stay as long as you like. If you're a nomad, you got to prove, certain things. There's a lot of good things going on in the world for nomads. So when I saw Bali is open again, bam, I knew that's where we were going to do 888 next year. In August of 2024, we will be in Bali. So happy, so thankful, so full. Bali is like nothing you've ever seen before. And we are going to do your life purpose plan. Your life purpose, we call it your divine destiny design. What does it look like? If you have a business, you have a company, you're a spiritual practitioner, you're an entrepreneur, and you see that you have drifted off purpose, which happens, or if you are in one arena and now you want to dive into your life purpose, boom, let's do it and set up everything for you. And of course, we'll have delicious food. And of course, we'll have photo shoots galore. And of course, we'll have content creation. You can create probably like 6 months worth of content in 8 days. Yes, all of it, all of it, all of it. And of course, yoga. And of course, morning meditation. And of course, ACIM. Yes, 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 of course. Let's breathe. So that's the big announcement coming up. Keep posted. It's coming up. It's coming up. And for all of our globetrotters, you can be paid to travel the world, because even if you're not coming with us, globetrotters, remember, you can still make money even when you don't come on the retreats. Globetrotters, right? And if you're like, how does that work? I want you to go to the link right here. Soul excursions for our global retreats for spiritual practitioners, magical practitioners. This whole community is full of magical beings, witches, wizards, warlocks, Reiki masters, tarot card slingers, energy healers, my favorite people on the planet. Moving energy. My spiritual peeps. These are my favorite people on the planet. Is all our spiritual peeps? Well, you can make money from these retreats that we're leading, even if you don't go on the retreat. And that's all at soulexcursions.world. All you do is text us. Once you get there, you're going to see, text us, and we'll show you exactly, we're going to show you the training on exactly how you can partner with us and be able to create revenue for yourself, even though you're not on these retreats with us. Magnificent. Let's have a deep breath. And once you watch the training, you can book a call with us as well. Deep breath. Deep breath. Great Spirit, sublime all, infinite energetic presence, perfecting presence, the all wise, the all knowing, the all good, source. Speaking these words now for everyone who has ever desired global travel to come to all of these gorgeous destinations with us around the globe. Yes, Spirit. Yes. Yes. We give thanks. Yes. And now we open to cash refunds, our next creation and manifestation. Amen. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Baby, let's do it. Cash refund. So, as always, there's a story as to where this spell came from. This is spell number 30, cash refund. By the way, ooh, there are some people coming down here to Mexico in the next few weeks. Baby, we'll do some lives and show you. Oh, honey, it's about to be on down here in Mexico. I'm coming to you from my beautiful home in Mexico. Spell number 30 is cash refund. Okay, so I use this spell on the new moon quite effectively, though it can be used at any time. So the new moon is the perfect time to do this spell. This spell is for calling to you a refund of any cash you may have misplaced or let go of unwisely, or were parted with due to lessons you were learning, or for unanticipated fees paid, you can be refunded. Now, let me be clear. Any money that went away from you, that went away from you because when a person with experience meets a person with money, if that person with experience is I'll give you an example. Thank you, Spirit. I'm seeing 3-card Monty. I grew up in New York City, so every so often you would see these guys playing 3-card Monty, or they would have 3 walnut shells. And 3-card Monty, they would just ask you, where's the ace or where's the whatever? And you were sure that you were following the cards as they moved them on the table, and you could not figure out how come you could, and you picked the card and you lost every time. That's because they had another card in their hand, or they had some other spiffy way of separating people from their money. And they used to do this in New York all the time. Matter of fact, I've seen it in Miami. I've still seen them play these games on the street, and people get separated from their money because 3-card Monty is not a game you can win. You might even win once just to make you play it again. So money like that you were separated from because maybe you weren't completely with it. You were learning a lesson. Money that seemed to go through your hands too fast. Money that you lost on a bad investment. Any money that has left you can be refunded to you. Did you know that? Did you know that you can get a cash refund? I did this spell, and it was so fast and so shocking how the money came back to me that I had to go back to the spell and I had to tighten it up a little bit because I had paid something that was $500. And in my mind, I was thinking that $500 thing that I was paying, that it wasn't fair, it wasn't right or whatever, something in me. And I left it. To me, that was completely unrelated to the cash refund spell. Yet, later, I did the cash refund spell. And after I did the cash refund spell on the new moon, that $500 was refunded to me. And I was like, oh, I have to tighten this spell up some more because I don't want it to refund me things that, I probably really did owe. It's a cash refund. Okay, you got a cash refund. Like the thing worked so fast. And so I was like, oh, like you don't want a cash refund after you paid your cell phone. And it was like you got a cash refund of your cell phone bill money right back to your bank account. Or you got a cash refund of your electric right back to your bank account, or your mortgage right back to your bank account. You don't want that to happen because you want it to be paid. So that's when I had to put some specificity and guardrails on this spell. It's super powerful and super fast, especially if you do it on the new moon. So it's called cash refund. Now, this is how you're going to do it. You're going to center yourself in your power and ability to call to you anything you desire. This is very important because you must understand that money didn't just fly away from you. It went because that was the choice you made in that moment. So you want to own your power, and you want to sit in the power, and you want to sit in your ability to be able to call to you, to summon to you, to bring to you that which is desired. That's the meditation that you're going to deepen into for this spell, to get your mind right, your consciousness right for this spell. Step 2. You're going to write the following wealth intention on the next new moon and every new moon until you receive a cash refund of any size. Here's the cash refund incantation. Write it in your wealth grimoire, speak it every new moon till you start seeing the cash refunds coming to you. It is my intention to be refunded promptly. I didn't just leave it at cash refund. I said, right, I shared with you that my refund came so fast, yet it did what I said. Magic does what you said. You can't tell it how to do it. It's going to do what you say. So when it did what I said so fast, I said, ooh, I've got to put parameters next time. So here are the parameters. It is my intention to be refunded promptly. That means now, for any and all cash money. You can put anything in there, Bitcoin, that was spent. Oh, that's a good one, Bitcoin, that was spent unwisely. That means my frivolous, unwise spending, me not being a good steward. I'm not always a good steward. Sometimes I'm irresponsible with my spending. Okay, so let that cash come back to me, or Bitcoin, or fill in the blank, whatever monetary representation you desire of the energy that is the exchanging energy, the energy we exchange for all the wonderful things that you want in your life. I call them fun tickets. That was spent unwisely or spent too soon. That's the case for me for Bitcoin. I spent a lot of Bitcoin too soon. I remember spending 4 Bitcoin on a airline ticket home from Bali. I think each Bitcoin at that time was 200 and some odd dollars because the airline ticket was like 800 and some odd dollars. I spent 4 Bitcoin just to get back home on the airline ticket. We were using Bitcoin as money. 4 Bitcoin now is about $120,000. Clearly, I spent that money too soon. Yet, it was not spent unwisely. And here's why I say it was not spent unwisely. The consciousness that we had in 2015 about Bitcoin is that Bitcoin was exactly what Satoshi Nakamoto said. He said it was a peer-to-peer cash system. And that's still what it is. So please do not forget that aspect of Bitcoin, that you don't need to sit and hoard every scrap of Bitcoin you get like some people think they need to do. It's just really scarcity mentality. Even though they get into scarcity mentality because they say it's only 21 million Bitcoin, I've got to get as many of the Bitcoins as I can. Why? No, you don't. That's not my philosophy anyway. Bitcoin is wonderful. It's a huge gift to the world. Have as much as you want. Have as much for your kids. Have an abundance consciousness when you approach Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is scarce, yet it makes people abundant. It's a conundrum. It's a paradox. Like all great important things are a paradox. That how can it be scarce and abundant at the same time? It is. So my today self would say that that money was spent too soon, because now I know what happened with Bitcoin from 200 to 30,000 and going to 6 figures in 2024 after the halving and going to 7 figures. Yeah, none of us knew Bitcoin was going to do that. No one in 2015, no one in 2008 thought Bitcoin was going to do that. No one. If they told you they did, they're lying. Now, some people thought this thing is really going to change the world. I should probably have some of it hanging around. I think Max Kaiser and a few of those people were probably the few people who said they got it on a very, 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 very deep level. And they said, oh, this thing's going to be around for a while. And they bought it early, like maybe 2010 or 2011. But no one, when Satoshi did it, put out the white paper in October of 2008 on Halloween, and mined the first Bitcoin in January of 2009. Hey guys, do this. No one did it. He was the only one doing it, so he was getting all the Bitcoin, 50 Bitcoin. Hey guys, come on, do it. It works. I tried it. Do it. Nobody did it because nobody believed that these magic coins that were spitting out of your computer every 10 minutes were going to be worth 30,000 US dollars. And we're still at the very beginning. We're still at the very beginning. So the 2008 mind that read the paper said, okay, if everybody knew what Bitcoin was and everybody knew what Bitcoin would do, everybody would have jumped on it in January of 2009, and everybody would have been mining it and getting 50 Bitcoin every 10 minutes. No one did that because no one thought that what he was talking about was anything. It took time for us to realize, oh my God, this is one of the greatest inventions. He will definitely get posthumously, because he's probably dead. he will, or in another dimension, or wherever, or hiding, or wherever, because all that Bitcoin is still sitting in that wallet and no one's been able to get it out yet. Something like 800,000 Bitcoin, close to 1 million Bitcoin sitting there, because he was just running the software, and every 10 minutes, 50 Bitcoin were spitting out. And that happened for like a whole year, possibly 2 years, before anyone ever said, hey, wait a minute. I think the first time Bitcoin had a price was a couple of years after that, and it was priced at 50 cents. You can look up the first, let me see. First time Bitcoin was assigned a price. I could be asking ChatGPT this. History of Bitcoin. I don't want to know that. I want to know what was the price of Bitcoin in 2005? Bitcoin was first used to buy pizza. We know the first transaction, but we want to know, what was the first price? Look at that. Well, it was a transaction. May 20. Okay. Bitcoin price history 2009 to 2023. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. Okay, let's see. Block. I don't want all of that. Let's see. Okay, here it is. No. It doesn't even have a price in 2009. The first price came in 2010. And judging that the return would have been 30,000, that means sometime in 2010, Bitcoin was $1. Okay? So in 2011, people started waking up to, oh, wait a minute. Because it didn't have, and the first Bitcoin transaction was in May of 2010, which was almost 2 years after the white paper, and a year and a half after, close to a year and a half after Satoshi had been saying, hey guys, get this thing. And, then people started catching on, and we're still in the phase of people catching on and even knowing what Bitcoin was, because we still have such a tiny part of the world on Bitcoin. Tiny. It's still brand new. It's still brand new. Don't worry about the 30,000 price. Buy $5 worth, buy $20 worth, buy $100 worth, buy $5 million worth. It's all up to you. Spent too soon. So my today self would do a spell for the refund of those 4 Bitcoin that I spent. So instead of cash refund, I would do Bitcoin refund, because my today self thinks I spent it too soon. That doesn't mean that there was something wrong with my 2015 self. My 2015 self was perfectly astute. And how many people in 2015 could actually travel the world and use Bitcoin to buy airline tickets and anything else? Not very many. So my 2015 self was cutting edge. My 2023 self says, hey, let me get a refund of those 4 Bitcoin in addition to all the other Bitcoin that I have and use, and I'm going to give it to my kids and my grandkids and all that stuff. Give me that Bitcoin back, that specific Bitcoin back from that transaction. Even though I bought a ton more Bitcoin since then, before then, bought more Bitcoin, used Bitcoin for coffee, pizza, everything. Everything. The only thing I couldn't figure out how to get with Bitcoin was gas. I told y'all that in the car. That was the only thing I couldn't, and it made sense because the petrodollar doesn't want to be unseated, unceremoniously unseated. So money that you spent too soon or lost. What about all the money and all the investments you've lost or misplaced? It's somewhere. Your Bitcoin is somewhere. This is my son. And a lot of people that I know, they bought some Bitcoin, they put it in a wallet, it's misplaced, they can't find it. Or otherwise parted from me prematurely or unwillingly, and I would even say unintentionally, right? I call this cash refund to me now. I call this Bitcoin refund to me now. So mote it be. Boom. Place the intention on your wealth altar. Release the spell and know the magic is working. Write out all cash refunds received in your wealth grimoire because you've got to prove to yourself that it works. So you every time you get a cash refund, you'll know when you're getting a cash refund or a Bitcoin refund or this refund. You'll know. Write it in your wealth grimoire. Repeat as desired on the new moon. If desired, if you cannot wait till the new moon, then do it now. It's Friday. We have the weekend. Hey, Darla. How you loving? How you loving? How you loving? So good to see you. Coming to you from my home in Mexico. Family, we are going to Egypt next month. We only have one spot left in this incredible group that's going to Egypt. It's at valerielove.com. Click on global events. And I do want to let you know that going forward in 2024, we will really be using an application process for everyone who comes on our retreats with us. We're going to Egypt. Now, if you desire to book a call with us after you go and you read this page and you see what we're doing, don't book a call if you don't know what we're doing. Book a call once you see what we're doing right on that Egypt page, and it tells you what's included, what's not included. You can book a call. So if you desire to book a call with a travel navigator, you can do that. And we will answer all of your questions and see if it's a match. And I already told you how you can make money traveling the world with us, or you can create significant income even if you don't travel by the Globetrotter opportunity that we have. I love you. Well, peace.